Do you sometimes feel like you're navigating your career completely on your own with no support whatsoever and no help in sight? You're not alone. Many career women feel like this, but 99 times out of 100, it's that pesky imposter syndrome kicking in. It convinces us that everybody else knows what they're doing and it's just me who's struggling. That's what stops us reaching for help. And that's the trap right there. There's so many of us who feel that way, but we don't speak up. So we're all very isolated, very on our own, all feeling the same way. If only we actually talk to each other and realise that there's lots and lots of people who feel the same way as us, and actually just by talking it out, that's the support in itself. And in actual fact, because of the few who have spoken up, there's a huge arsenal of support out there. There's guidance, mentorship, networking groups, you name it. It's out there for the taking. I'm Churchill, and I'm on a mission to help women grow from self-doubt to self-confidence so they can take their career to the next level. I was always my own worst critic. Truth is, some days I still am, but over the years, I've learned tips, tricks, and strategies to make sure my mindset and confidence was in the right place to get my career back on track. And it's these strategies that I share with you. If you have a comment or a question, please leave that below this video and I'll get back to you. Thumbs up is always appreciated. And of course, for more like this, please subscribe to the channel. Shining a light on your imposter syndrome is the first step to making it lose its grip over you and your confidence. By pinpointing patterns and behaviours in yourself which are a result of your imposter syndrome can help you start to dismantle the influence that they have over you. But you have to recognise that it's there, then you can start to take it apart and realise that you're worthy of these career steps that you're looking for, and it's okay to ask for the help. It doesn't make you look weak. And it's women at all levels that get this imposter syndrome, these feelings of inadequacy, and quite often the men too, for that matter. And in fact, the higher up the career ladder we go, sometimes it feels more difficult to ask for that help because you feel like you ought to have the answers to the questions already. So as we climb the career ladder, the two feelings, firstly, feeling like a fraud for being there in the first place, and secondly, not wanting to ask for any help because you feel it will make you look weak, they get bigger and bigger. But like I said, you're not alone, and so many women feel the same way. That's why I created the Imposter Syndrome Quiz, because imposter syndrome shows up for so many different people in so many different ways. And I think it's really important for you to be able to recognise how and when it's showing up for you. That's the first step to shining a light on it and getting rid of its influence over you. It consists of 8 quick questions, and at the end of it, we'll give you some personalised tips based on your answers to help you get started today getting rid of that imposter syndrome influence. There's a link to the quiz right below this video, so go ahead and take that whenever you're ready. So I promised you 3 actionable ways that you can start to build a career network and learn that you are not alone. Number 1 is to seek some mentorship. Look upwards in your organisation and see those seasoned professionals that you actually aspire to be like. They might be women, they might be men. Certainly some of my mentors, biggest mentors in my career, have been men, so don't rule them out. And I promise you, male or female, in your organisation or outside of it, if you reach out to somebody and ask them for a little bit of mentorship, they're not going to say no. They'll almost always be happy to give you some of their time. Don't forget, they were where you are now once, and they had those feelings of inadequacy, and they probably still do. They might even be quite surprised that you hold them in such high regard. And that's because imposter syndrome isn't something we get over. It isn't something that disappears. It's something that we learn to recognise and learn to actually be more powerful than it. Secondly, I highly recommend that you seek out like-minded people in the form of a network group or a gender equality group, something like that. Often find industry-specific groups such as Women in Construction, Women in FM in my case. If you even look on Facebook and type women in, there are so many groups that you'll probably find your own. And if you don't, why not create one? It's good to talk, as the saying goes, and it's good for you and for the people around you. As soon as these feelings are aired and shared, they instantly become less powerful. So this is a great way to get some confidence real quick. And thirdly, why don't you find out if your organisation has a sponsorship programme? This is different to mentorship because a mentor just gives you a sounding board, gives you some advice on things that you particularly need. A sponsor involves a senior leader actually advocating for you. A sponsor will use their power to make sure that you're getting high visibility projects, programs, access to courses. In short, career advancing opportunities. So by embracing these strategies, you're actually busting the myth that you're all on your own and that everybody else knows what they're doing and it's just you who feels this way. All three of them make sure that you break that myth wide open. But in order to get going, you've got to take the big leap. You've got to get brave and ask for the help. And you'll only do that by recognizing that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is, in fact, a sign of leadership. It takes guts to join a group or to ask somebody to help you with a little bit of mentoring, and especially asking for a sponsor. But that's the only way to get brave and recognize that asking for that help isn't a problem. And don't forget, it's that pesky imposter syndrome that stops you from asking for the help in the first place. It convinces you that asking for help is the wrong thing to do, when in actual fact, it tells people that you want the career advancement that you want. So we've got to bash this imposter syndrome on the head. That's why I created the Imposter Syndrome Quiz, because it shows up in so many different ways for so many different people. And I think it's really important for you to recognize how and when it's showing up for you. The quiz is 8 quick questions, and at the end of it, you'll get personalised tips to help you start to shine a light on your imposter syndrome right from today. There's a link to the quiz right below this video, so go ahead and take that now. As ever, I really appreciate your feedback. It helps me deliver the stuff you're looking for, and it helps other people to find my stuff as well, so really appreciated. Please drop me a thumbs up, and of course, if you want more like this, subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, you have a fantastic week.